Have you ever stopped to think about the sheer economic power of modern Poland? Right now, as you're watching this country is already a $1 trillion economy. Let that sink in. $1 trillion. From the economic ruins of 1989 to being the fifth largest economy in the European Union today, it's one of the most incredible transformation stories of our time. But how did it happen? How did a nation facing empty shelves and hyperinflation build an economic powerhouse? This isn't just a story about numbers, it's a story about grit, strategy, and some incredibly bold decisions.
Z wielką satysfakcją mogę dzisiaj powiedzieć, myśmy się tego domyślali wcześniej i zapowiadali nawet taką możliwość, ale to wreszcie stało się faktem absolutnie historycznym. Polska trafiła właśnie w tych dniach do tego bardzo ekskluzywnego klubu państw bilionerów. Ja wiem, że to są abstrakcyjne statystyki, że się raczej w głowie nie mieści takie coś jak bilion. No ale robi wrażenie, jest 20 takich państw na świecie. 20. Na 195 państw 20 należy do tego klubu bilionerów i tak jak już nieraz mówiłem, to na pewno nie jest nasze ostatnie słowo. Patrzę na ministra finansów i gospodarki, ale to od was też wszystkich będzie zależało, czy my ten marsz w górę i do przodu będziemy kontynuowali tak efektywnie. Tak?
Let's go back to 1989. For anyone who lived through it, or heard the stories from your parents and grandparents, it's a time that's hard to forget. The old communist system had completely collapsed, leaving behind an economic disaster. Inflation was out of control, reaching a staggering 55% in a single month. The currency, the zloty, was practically worthless, and basic goods were chronically scarce. It was a moment of crisis, but also a moment of extraordinary opportunity. A new government, led by the Solidarity movement, knew that small changes wouldn't be enough. They needed a revolution, and that's exactly what they delivered with a plan that became known around the world as shock therapy. Spearheaded by Finance Minister Leszek Balcerowicz, this plan was a radical, painful, but necessary surgery on the economy. Overnight, price controls were lifted, state subsidies were slashed, and the economy was thrown open to the world. The short-term consequences were brutal. Many inefficient state-owned factories, unable to compete, went bankrupt. Unemployment, a concept almost unknown before, skyrocketed from virtually zero to over 12% in a single year, and would eventually climb to 20%. It was a time of immense hardship and uncertainty for millions of families, but this creative destruction was the essential first step. It cleared away the wreckage of the old system, making space for something new to grow, a dynamic private sector that would become the true engine of Poland's future growth. It's an incredible story, and if you're proud of how far Poland has come, hit that like button to let us know. While the 90s laid the foundation, the real economic explosion came on May 1st, 2004.
Oto dzisiaj Polska wraca do europejskiej rodziny.
Joining the European Union wasn't just a political milestone, it was like strapping a rocket engine to the Polish economy. Suddenly, Polish businesses had tariff-free access to the world's largest single market, a playground of over 450 million consumers. Exports boomed. Poland, with its strategic location and skilled workforce, became a vital hub in European manufacturing, especially for its powerhouse neighbor, Germany. Your country became a leader in producing everything from automotive parts and electronics to furniture and electric batteries. But that was only half the story. Poland also became the single biggest beneficiary of EU funds, receiving a massive inflow of capital that transformed the country. From 2004 to the end of 2023, Poland received over 245 billion euros. This money wasn't just a handout, it was a strategic investment. It built the modern highways and railways you travel on today, upgraded energy grids, and funded training programs that boosted the skills of the workforce. This created a perfect storm for investment. Foreign companies saw a country with a skilled workforce, brand new infrastructure and complete access to the EU market, and they poured in. This was a turning point for your country. What are your family's memories of joining the EU? Let us know in the comments below. And if you're enjoying this deep dive, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss our next video. Now, this brings us to a crucial question. Some people say Poland achieved this success with closed borders, but the reality is much more clever and strategic. Poland actually operates a brilliant dual framework. On one hand, by joining the European Union and the Schengen area, it embraced one of the most open border systems in the world. This freedom of movement for people and goods within Europe was absolutely essential for trade and economic integration. On the other hand, for its external borders with non-EU countries, Poland maintained control. But this control wasn't about building a fortress. It was about pragmatism. The government managed its external borders to allow for a massive, controlled inflow of the foreign workers the booming economy desperately needed. With a shrinking and aging population, Poland faced a severe labor shortage. Workers, primarily from Ukraine and Belarus, were welcome to fill those critical gaps in construction, manufacturing, and services. Today, foreign workers make up nearly 7% of the entire workforce. They are not a burden. They are a vital pillar of Poland's prosperity. Studies show that Ukrainian immigrants alone have boosted Poland's GDP and contribute more in taxes than they receive in benefits. So, it wasn't about open or closed borders. It was about smart, managed borders that served the national economic interest. And none of this would have been possible without the most important resource of all, the Polish people. Parallel to the economic reforms was an educational revolution. After 1989, there was a huge societal push for higher education. The number of university students exploded from around 400,000 in 1990 to nearly 2 million by 2005. This created a large, highly skilled and ambitious workforce that was ready to seize the new opportunities being created. This pool of human capital became one of Poland's greatest competitive advantages, attracting high-value investment from global companies looking for talent, not just cheap labor. So, when you put it all together, you see the formula for the Polish miracle. It started with the painful but necessary shock of market reforms. Then came the twin superchargers of EU integration and foreign investment. And it was all powered by a strategic approach to migration and a massive investment in the skills of its own people. The result is the economic powerhouse we see today, a country that has enjoyed uninterrupted growth since 1992, uniquely avoiding a recession even during the 2008 global financial crisis. It's a story of resilience, smart policy, and incredible hard work. Of course, the journey isn't over. Poland faces new challenges on the horizon. An aging population remains a long-term issue. Geopolitical instability is a constant reality. And the next great task is to transition from an economy that builds things to one that invents them, driven by domestic innovation. But if the last 30 years have taught us anything, it's that Poland has a remarkable ability to rise to the occasion. The story of your country's economic rise is one that deserves to be told and celebrated. We'd love to read your thoughts on Poland's future in the comments. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to check out our other videos on Polish history and culture linked in the description.